sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet. Just go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, my name is Andrew David. This is Blake Newbar's partner program, the High Performance Call, daily, Monday through Friday, noon Eastern time. As always, appreciate you guys being on. Is James a passenger? No, I don't think so. Well, maybe. So appreciate you guys as always here. Now, the cool thing is today I was able to get one of our
trainer today,
local celebrities to join us. A rock star from across the pond, a gentleman who, well, I would say needs no introduction, but I want to make sure I introduce him in case some people aren't aware of who you are yet. So, long story short, Darren was a pilot, which is already pretty badass. Let's be real, right? He's already pretty cool, and then decides to get in this online world. Over time, meets Blake, starts to do that. It is a product of the product, as we like to say, kicking butt, doing what he does, started providing more and more help within the group and everything else, eventually becomes part of the team and now helps lead not just accelerator sessions, but if you ever ask a question in the group in one way or another that has to do with, building out the funnel, marketing, or just about anything else, branding, etc., there is a better than not chance that this man has answered it either for you or for a dozen other people at one time or another. I feel like he's got a whole team of individuals logged in as Darren, answering questions and just copying and pasting the answers that he's given over the years. But he is a tremendous resource. He's an encyclopedia of knowledge, just an all-around good guy, and just one, handsome devil over there. So appreciate, as always, Mr. Darren Mooruth. Appreciate you being with us, sir.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate everyone on the call today, and thanks for the amazing introduction.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and pin you so people can see who you are.
And I think he never sleeps too.
Yeah, he doesn't much. I got a message 9-10 p.m. Eastern time, which was 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Thank you. So, did I miss anything with the intro?
No, I think you nailed it. Absolutely. Unless you wanted me to expand on that.
Start affiliate marketer, all this kind of stuff. I
really want to thank Darren real quickly because he actually messaged me 2 days ago. Thank you so much, Darren.
You're welcome.
He really, really cares. This man cares, folks. You're going to find out. He really does.
Yeah. Darren's just a good guy. It's great I love being part of a team that's full of people that give a damn. So that it makes everything that I do a lot easier. So, okay. So Darren, as we were starting off, I told you I was going to ask this. When you popped on the call, you said you've woken up the last couple of days a little rough. And right now we've got the whole group, almost everybody's taking part in one way or another in this challenge. They're pushing themselves in some fashion, right? So how do you balance? Because they just talked about it. You're up late. You work plenty, you do work from a laptop, but you still put in your hours, which is normal. When you're running a business, how do you stay healthy? What do you do to take care of, the temple that you are?
What I try and do is always have a lot of water next to me. So I have literally 2 pints of water right now. And over the last 2 days, I haven't really been taking them. It's just been sat there. So that's why I'm feeling really rough right now. So I know the reality of not actually having enough water with you. But always keep yourself hydrated, whatever you do. Activities, no activities, make sure you have enough. In terms of like exercise and things like that, started to ride my bike. I had an old bike that was like 17, 18 years old. Nothing wrong with it. A little bit of rust here and there. I've realized that I could actually just go onto YouTube and clean it up and get it on the road again. And I thought, well, let's take that.
Please tell me it had like a basket on the front.
No. No. So I put that back on the road again. And then that is now my vehicle. So instead of using the car, using that as a vehicle to get to the gym, lock it up and go to the gym. So every day I'll work on a specific portion, whether it's on my arms, whether it's on my legs. It's not, I'm not all over the place. Like we're going into the program, we're not all over the place. We're very sequential with what we want to do. So yeah, that's those are the main things that I really do. And then when I come back, I also go back to the calendar that I was talking about maybe on maybe the last call. I've already got my day structured. So I'll look at maybe reading, audiobook, maybe looking into testing something out inside of the funnel. There's certain parts of the day so that I'll change what I do.
You try and keep fairly scheduled out and rolling as opposed to just kind of willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so keeping hydrated, right? And we've talked about this before, guys. Like hydration affects you on more levels than we can even discuss in an hour. So staying hydrated. Great challenge done by Alex Treffin. Alex is great. Mike, just so you know, Alex is going to be one of the guys at the Austin Mastermind that I'm going to, the Speakeasy. He's going to be one of the speakers there. So
that's sweet.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. So, okay, hydrated. You're riding your bike consistently. So we're getting a little bit of cardio, even if it's a little bit. It's still movement as opposed to driving, like you said. And then you're working out. You said every day. Are you going every day? Or are you like a 5-day a week kind of guy? Or what do you do? What's your breakdown?
First, it was once every 2 months. Don't be honest. I hated that thing. I've never used it on an open road before because we weren't allowed to. But yeah, no, it's more or less like 4 times, 5 times a week now. So keep the weekends free. That's what they're there for.
Okay. Gotcha. Good. I mean, I'm in the middle of like an every day, it doesn't matter anyway, kind of. But I'm not normally like this. Okay, so and then you keep your day schedule that helps you get things going. So, guys, if you've got questions, now is a great time. Drop them into the chat and we can talk. So, Darren, how long overall you've been marketing online? A year, 2 years?
Oh, wow.
3 years?
I really started the journey back in 2010, but like to take it really seriously, it was only until December 2019, when I came across Blake Newbar.
So we're about 2 years in, right? But you'd played around before. We're coming into fourth quarter right now. Now, what I love about the partner program is that we're dealing with digital products. So one of the big things that people are talking about, at least in the US, is supply chain issues, right? People coming in and there's problems with the ships, there's problems with trucking, there's problems with everything. So fourth quarter, organic ads, lead flow, all that kind of stuff. Like, what do you do to prep for fourth quarter? Do you change anything? Do you keep it rolling? What do you think?
What I do is have a look at what's actually been working over the last couple of months or over the last year. Just scroll through my own personal profile, have a look at somebody else's profile as well, see what's gained the most traction, and kind of emulate what I see is already working. On this occasion, I just decided, okay, I'm just going to roll with a post that did really well, that had over 380 odd comments on there. And I just thought I'd restructure the wording on that. And I just posted it. No prep, no nothing, just posted it. And it's just gone crazy. And so to follow up with that, we need to make sure that as those people are raising their hands, we need to follow up with them too. That includes liking, commenting, tagging, maybe using a GIF in there or an emoji, but utilizing the tools that we have with Facebook and then taking that into the direct messenger. So that's just rolling right now. I don't really have to touch it because there's automation involved with that.
Okay. So you're just kind of rolling with what was working, because you do mostly organic anyway, right? You're not running ads much.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So just kind of a word to the wise for any of you guys that are running ads or you're wanting to. People will be buying during fourth quarter, but if you run ads, they're going to get more expensive and your conversions are going to be rough during this time because everybody's running ads, right? And so the more people that run ads, the more expensive those ads become because Facebook is going to give priority to people that are willing to spend more. Okay. That's just the way the algorithm is set up. So that's why organically, putting in that work and putting stuff out there and being consistent with it, I think is one of the biggest things. Right. So, we got a question. What niche are you in? How'd you choose it?
My very first niche was actually dental leads machine. I had nothing to do with it. And then when I flew over to Funnel Hacking Live, a guy who I didn't even know, we decided, let's get this hotel together, share the costs. And he kept on kind of prodding at me, kind of teasing at me, saying, you got nothing to do with dental. You're just a patient of, you know. So what are you going to do and talk about if you jump into those groups? I don't know, it's just where the money's at. Blake just says choose anything. I thought, okay, let's just do that. When I came back, I had a lot more clarity from the event. So I realized that over the years, I've pretty much been doing affiliate marketing, and that's how I ended up choosing it. The very first product that I ever promoted was Mike Chang 6-pack shortcuts. It was about 10, 11 years ago. Okay. Yeah, it was just a program that I wanted to stay fit. And it came about where I found this program and I followed the program for 3 weeks straight, military mode. It was just, I was just doing exactly what he said, including the eating program and everything. I dropped a lot of weight very quickly. And then suddenly a lot of people started, it was like attraction marketing, but in the real world, people started coming up to me and saying, hey, are you that guy that was really chubby, or, you know, you turned up? You know, it's a great feeling because you go from invisible to suddenly being noticeable. I think, okay, I'm doing something right here. Like, that's not normal. So I continued doing it, went to the next phase. There's 4 phases. So there's like 4 months of this program. I reached the 3rd phase and I didn't complete it. But I felt like I now had this momentum that I needed, and the clarity and I had the validation from other people from around me, and it boosts you up. It makes you feel good. So heading back to what niche, it was really all about like what I resonated with the most and what really made a difference to me. Mm. And then I came back towards this in this program when I had a little bit more thought after the Funnel Hacking Live 2020 event.
Got it. So, yeah, I mean, getting around a lot of those people will push you that way for sure, you know, and that'd work for any of you guys. We're now in a spot where you can get out and network a little bit. Maybe even if you go to a local, you know, if you're looking at real estate, go to a local real estate event, go talk with people, go to a chamber of commerce, talk with other business owners. You know, we're all digital, but you can look offline too if you need some inspiration. But there's stuff you can, you know, look around on the news, find the niche that's working, grab a hold of it. And we've done a lot of training on that already, I think. So what are you doing organically that's working for you now?
So what I've tested is either one thing or another, either just stories or just posts. It's a combination of them both. With using stories, it's the very first thing that people see. And stories die after 24 hours. So every 4, 5, 6 hours, I'll put another story up. So for today, just before the call, about 30 minutes ago, I just said, hey, in the private group, I've just taken a screenshot of what Andrew had posted inside of the Blake's Partner program. It's got his name on there. It's got Blake's Partner program and just the announcement saying we're going to go live in the next 30 minutes or 45 minutes or something like that. So I thought, quick, let's just put a post on there. It's going to keep my story alive, and other people can potentially click through to my personal profile to see what's going on. It's private. It's causing intrigue. So everybody else in the public won't get to see it. I'm not going to be passing out that link to get into here. They have to be in our world to be in there. That's why we posted the link inside of the group. So they can then have a conversation with me. But there's already people looking at that particular story, and even if they're not engaging in it, I can still reach out to them using my phone. There are specific features that you could use organically with stories. So using a story to keep your profile alive, to make sure it's bumping to the top. People are clicking through that and going through your story. So don't have a ton out there. Like a lot of people have like 16. If I see if you've ever used a story, if you see across the top, you'll see there's little lines. And if I see 20, I'm swiping to the right. I'm going off to the next story. I'm not going to sit there and watch all of them. But it depends on the person and the character. If that person has a great character and I really enjoy their content, then I'll continue flowing. But I usually work on 3 or 4. So work on like 3, 4, 5 hour schedules and post something else, whatever you're doing at the time. Andrew's doing it too. I see him in the gym working out. They call it, what is the nickname they're giving you now?
What's that? The Phoenix
Muscle
or what? What muscles? Oh no. I'm sure I'll get some nicknames at some point. Johnny Bravo. My dad, started calling me that years ago. But
I call you Mr. Buff.
That's the one.
But there's stories are so great because you can post stuff like that. I'm going to start talking more in my stories. I don't do that often enough. I'm going to start doing that more. You can play around with it. It's great. A 15-second video, guys, is great short form. Like that's great practice. You can fill up 15 seconds. And I talked about this the other day. Like, so a lot of people don't want to do stories because they're afraid of being there. Guys, that's just self-belief. And honestly, there's ways that you can do it without being on camera if you don't want to. But damn it, just get over yourselves. Just do it. Just do it. You know, people will connect with you better if you do. I know some of you are shaking your head like, no, I just don't want to. Okay, do something else. The key is just doing it. Making one's profile private does help with managing those you do not want to deal with. Yeah, but
I will just limit your reach. Get it open. Inside of the training, Blake shows you how to open up your profile. So regardless if, like, I've removed all my family, they're not my customers. I'm using my profile like a business asset now. To begin with, it was about fear. I didn't want them to see it, but they were not engaging on my stuff. So what that would mean is if I posted anything on my personal profile or my stories, anything, they wouldn't have seen it anyway. The algorithm wouldn't have spiked up and showed it. So it was fear within myself, but I just took the action. And it was one of the messages that I'd heard through, I think it was Traffic Secrets. Russell Brunson was talking about, like, just focusing around 100 people, the 100 people that you want to be following and emulating. So you'll always be seeing that kind of content that you want to be emulating. So whether it's Tony Robbins, when it's Dean Graziosi, Andrew David, whoever else that you want to be focusing around and emulating, there
are many people much higher up on that list, but thank you. No, but I tell people all the time, go look at what Darren's doing, look at what Blake is doing, look at, you know, and if you're doing, and I was talking with, I don't think he's on this call, but, you know, looking at your niche, guys, you can find someone influential in your niche no matter what. Yeah, I mean, we can name off a handful of people in the digital marketing space real easy because we've been in that world for a while. So yes, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Russell Brunson, you know, Anthony Morrison, Blake, you know, Tanner. There's a bunch of people that you can name off like that. Figure out your niche, right? Real estate wise, there's going to be people there, right? I would look at individuals and, you know, certain organizations, certain companies. If it's dental, then there's going to be organizations, companies, schools. Like, there's always somebody that's influential in any niche, right? You just went against what you told, accept the compliment graciously without the negative pre-comment. Denise, you're right. I was talking about that yesterday. Darren, you're absolutely right, Denise. But see, that's exactly proved my point. You know, the reason I talk about this shit is because I need so much work on it myself too. You know, we all do. It's a constant thing. Yes, busted. Yes, absolutely. Story has cool captions feature. Yeah. I mean, there's so much you can do there. So what else? What are the questions we have? What have you been doing that didn't work? Let's talk about the last thing that you were like, well, damn, that didn't work out. Do you have anything, or are you just hitting home runs every time?
No, there are always things that, you know, I don't regard them as failures. I just do them. I just test it out. I just feel like, okay, somebody else is doing something that's interesting, but they've built up towards whatever it is, whether it's a Facebook Live. I personally don't like doing Facebook Live, but it's no different to the plastic that I'm using and the internet connection and the laptop that I'm using right now. It's just the platform. So the failures. Okay, here we go. Back in 2015, I moved over to Spain, and I wanted to share the joy and the happiness of me moving out, my own place. It was amazing. So I did so many videos, just sharing the journey. And also it was like a documentation. And this was, you know, I wasn't really doing much marketing back then. And the reason why I tell you about this is because I was thinking and feeling like the audience that were around me was really just my family, but there was a lot more people watching my stories. And over a period of time, people started to do skit videos of what I was doing. Like if I was landing in a particular hotel, showing around the room or around Spain or something, they were doing something very similar. And I took it very personal. So I decided to hide and end up in Snapchat. So those videos that I was doing, that was like really short videos or Facebook Lives at the time, it was very new. I thought, yeah, let's try this out. What's going on? And I ended up in Snapchat because I started to see people doing exactly what I was doing, and it felt like it was a target to me. And it was. They were just a little bit jealous because I moved base and I was the only one from the base in East Midlands Airport to move across. And I thought, okay, forget about it. I moved over to Snapchat, hid away. Nobody knew my handle. Nobody knew how to get there. It wasn't like I was going on Facebook. And then I kept on doing the same story. And consistently, I got really good at videos, like to the point where I didn't have Post-it notes around my phone and holding my phone at me, you know, with points that I wanted to come across. And I didn't want to feel like I didn't know what I was saying. I knew what I wanted to say, but I wanted to remember what was being said. And because I didn't have like a teleprompter, Snapchat didn't allow me to do so. I just decided to keep doing this. And I just kept on posting out content. And then suddenly other people, as Snapchat started to grow, other people around in the network saying, hey, Darren's also got a Snapchat as well, or Darren's also got an Instagram as well. So I don't know how they found me. Maybe it's because of a phone number. I think that's how it works. They started adding me. And they started paying attention, and I kept on doing this. I went to the gym. I started posting my day, regular stuff, exactly the same like Andrew, Blake. They're posting about their day. Blake went to Greece recently, so I started getting messages and saying, "Darren, you're like really inspirational." I'm like, "What? I'm just doing it for me."
Yeah.
And then it kept on coming, like essay messages and stuff. You've changed my day. You've changed my week. This is amazing. This is exactly what I wanted to hear. Well. And then suddenly someone says, you should move to Instagram. No, you're okay. Being comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's just a different platform.
Right.
I moved over to Instagram, stopped using Snapchat, and I don't do Instagram as much anymore. So that's like a huge failure. Like, I could see that something was working back then, but it might be something that I should be tapping into now.
Well, I'm the same way right now with like LinkedIn. LinkedIn was crushed for me through 2019, 2020, and I've almost completely ignored it this year, right? Like, guys, and that happens to all of us. You'll modify platforms once in a while, you'll change. Like, sometimes you need to, and obviously Darren's having success with Facebook and where he's at. If you've got something that's working, don't run away from it. But at the same time, just do something. That's the key with all of it. Just be active. I've gone heavier and heavier and getting more and more on Instagram, and I wasn't posting as much on Facebook. So then all I started doing is just, you post it on Instagram and I push it to Facebook. That's what's been the big thing, right? And then, like you talked about, you got the list of people to comment on, and I've been active there, and I'm starting to get the comments back like, oh my gosh, Russell responded to you, Dean responded to you, this person. Well, yeah, because they've seen my comments for the last month and a half, almost every single day, and I'm not just posting good thought, cool stuff, so they start to respond. That's how you start to do it up, but people are coming in, they're, like you said, they're dropping in the messages, they're starting to say something. Hey, I want to repost this. I love what you said about this. This is so great. And that's how it starts to build, right? That's how you worry about fourth quarter and ad spend. And man, I don't want to spend money on ads. Okay, well, be patient and just build yourself and just do it and be comfortable being uncomfortable, like you said. So yeah, love that.
That's actually, that's a really good point. I've seen you post or comment on Russell Brunson's post, and I thought that's amazing. Because I remember coming back from Hacking Live, and there was Steve J. Larson and Russell Brunson from 2020 event, and they were just there at the airport, and they were on there live for quite a while, I think 15 minutes max, and there was a call to action towards the end that says, "Hey, what were your takeaways? What brought you to the event, and what was the big aha for you?" And I just gave them a big comment reply, and they were like, "Wow, that's pretty cool, man," because they didn't know that I work behind the scenes at ClickFunnels without a ClickFunnels account, and I flew over to Hacking Live. And so they will remember me for that.
It's that story, guys. It's putting that out there, and doing it. Here's something I'm going to say, and some people are going to want to hear it and some aren't. You can generate money fairly quickly with this. You absolutely can. A lot of the stuff that we do, and when Darren and I are talking, when Blake's talking, launch and perfectly get out there. There's things to be done now. And I know a lot of people aren't looking for the long game, but if you can be patient, and I don't care how old you are, guys, it really doesn't matter. You're 50s, 60s, 70s. So what? People are living longer now than ever before. Okay. So if you're willing to be just a little bit patient, the things that you can accomplish are going to blow you away. Just keep hacking away at it. I had a 15-minute phone call earlier today with this dude, right? Like on my cell phone, talking to him about stuff that he wants to do. A dude that I've been following for 4.5 years. How many times have I talked about him on here? And it just comes from plugging away, right? Steadily doing what you need to do. But that's it, guys. Just keep pushing yourselves, and going out there. Okay. So, and that self-belief, and eventually all of you guys are going to get great at all of these things. Let's see. James is asking, newest thing that you're working on. Are you asking Darren? What are you working on, Darren? You got something new?
Really, that one post. So I'm staying consistent with that, and I posted something like 3 or 4 days ago, and just consistently replying back to all of those people, and also my stories as well, which powers back up that post. So it'll continue to get those engagements as people continue to comment. I'm not going to reply to every single one of them, so it'll allow the spike in the engagement to show that hey, this is actually still important. So it'll keep rising to the top. It all came up that the other post that I did back in April that I'd probably talk to you about as well, James, is still alive. April, we're in October. So it's the same message that I'm kind of beating the same drum about, but I've just left it many months to kind of reestablish what the message is. So that's the consistency there, is that when you know that a strategy is really working for you, and then how to get them into your messenger, or maybe straight to clicking on your link, there will be people that will just continue to they don't want to talk to you, but they want to see what's actually going on, and they'll just click your link. It's crazy. And so I deployed the strategy, I think it was maybe 2 calls ago, just before the Tuesday's call, actually, at 4 p.m. EST. And I thought, okay, let's just fire this up again. Let's just see how many people can just get on a Zoom call. And I didn't want to get on with everybody. I just wanted to focus on the quality leads, as what it says on that particular post. So I jumped on a Zoom call with that person, and I deployed the same strategy that I used back then. He purchased the first 2 products. I'd already spoken to him about purchasing the 3 products. He hadn't even seen my funnel. Mm-hmm. And I said to him, within the next 20 minutes, I said 30 minutes, within the next 30 minutes, I want to see the transactions happening on my phone to show that you're serious about your journey and what you want to do with your marketing journey, because we've already spoken about it. We've already spoken about his whole journey, where he's been struggling, jumping from program to program, not really making any sense. He's been trying to do affiliate marketing for a while. Now, there are people inside of my network and outside of my network, and it's the ability to communicate with them and let them open up to you, because all the answers to all of their questions will all start to come about.
Did you film that?
I recorded it. Yeah.
Did you ask him to like edit it and put it on your page at all, or what?
No, I always asked them if I could record it at the start of the call, just to say, because I'm recording my journey, and they say, yeah, it's absolutely fine. I mean,
if you want it edited, I mean, talk with me. I'll have my guy splice it up for you if you want to use it. You know, I mean, it's your call if the guy's cool with doing it, but that's cool. Did everybody hear what he did? So he commented, he got someone on a call, talked to them a little bit about marketing, said, hey, I've got this product, you should buy it. Oh, I don't know. Look, you've been putzing around for a decade with all this other nonsense. Why don't you do this? If you're serious, I'll see the purchases here in the next 15, 20 minutes. Right. So that's what he did. And then the guy did it. Like I would edit that video and be like, here, you know, but now we help him along, make sure he actually gets him, you know, now you follow up with the guy, make sure he actually gets stuff adjusted and gets himself up and going. Right.
Yeah, just to follow up with that as well, because because I told him about the 3 products, he was dithering. He purchased the 2 products, and afterwards he messaged me saying, hey, I'm not really too sure. I said, look, we had this discussion. You either want it or you don't. It's up to you. I do not care about what, you know, if you really want to do this, I will help you, and I'll take you even further with your understanding. And I discussed to him about a secret that not many people talk about. If you're willing to do that, I'll jump on a call with you for about 30 minutes to 60 minutes, which is off the table. It's not an offer that's inside of my funnel. And I'll tell you the secret how to get as many ClickFunnels signups guaranteed to you. And I left him with a cliffhanger.
And then you're like, all right, talk to you later. I'll wait till I see that purchase. Yeah.
It happened on the call. Cool. So 3 purchases, $700. He's all in.
There you go. Awesome. All right. So Aurora's asking personal. Yeah. So your personal profile, you can post business stuff there, but you can't just post. So she's saying she saw something that you wrote, Darren, about, you know, if you don't have much on your profile, if you post too much business stuff on your personal profile, that they can shut it down. So what's the proper way to use a personal profile?
Okay. So this is going to reference Traffic Secrets. So if you're not reading that, make sure you do. Russell Brunson talks about a Jk5 method. So it's a personal profile. So use it in a personal way. So share what you're doing. Andrew's doing it. Blake's doing it. I'm doing it. Right. Blake he showed his journey flying over to Greece. Like, we're off over to Greece, shows the beautiful views every day. Andrew's showing his guns, he's got his sweat on and everything like that.
I'm
beautiful.
I'm sweating. I'm not showing guns, but yeah.
But you're being consistent.
We'll wait on those. Those will make an appearance at some point. But yeah, you show your personal stuff and say that you're personal, and then you post a link once in a while. You're fine. You don't want to be your personal page. You make your adjustments. You modify your page the way you need to, and you can put your link in your bio, but you're not posting your link all the time. It's not business and links all the time on your personal page, because that's not personal at all, right? And Facebook will tell you, hey, that's what your business page should be for. And people, you want to build relationships. So people aren't going to build a relationship with a brochure, right? That's just kind of, you don't want to be that person.
Are we testing out some
sales? Go ahead.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm going to be testing out removing the link to cause even more intrigue, to have even more conversations. So I'm going to try that. I know it goes against the grain of what we've been trained, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to change out the cover and see how it all goes, because everyone's seen my cover for so long. It's been on there for over a year and I'm still getting purchases, but I'm going to be trying out a different angle, using a different lead magnet and things like that to bring them in.
Yeah, as soon as you change anything like that, though, everybody gets a notice. Hey, you changed his profile picture. All of a sudden you're in front of a bunch more people. So it's a way to do it, guys. But yeah, or just be real on there. I mean, that's the key. So, Jim, how do we hear the secret? Go, Darren, you want to share something, or tell them where they can go find it for themselves?
Well, you could even have a conversation with me, but I'm not going to just tell the whole world about this secret. Nobody really talks about it, but
there you go. He's got a
unfair advantage here.
Close. Yeah, you do the work and find it. Here's a dude that's been working for a bit. People, I guarantee somebody's going to be mad that you didn't say anything, but don't share it.
I've got a lot of secrets.
Yeah, well, we don't want to hear everything. Guys, any other questions? What else we got? Darren, we got 16 days left in this month. If you want to partake in any kind of challenge, join the rest of the group here. You don't have to do 10,000 push-ups or anything, but you got something you can challenge yourself with.
What is the challenge that you were doing with your friends?
The whole purpose of this is an accumulation challenge, right? It's to push yourself over an extended period of time. So you can do a 30-day, just start it now and go into next month. I'm going to kick off another one come November 1st. But the whole point is to push yourself with some type of daily activity. And one of the reasons the emphasis is on the physical a little bit is because when you do that, mentally, you end up strengthening yourself as long as you continue to follow through, right? So I'm doing push-ups and Stairmaster. We have some people doing some same thing. We have others that are taking walks or exercise or biking or a certain number of steps, there's all sorts of different things. Some people are using it for their business. Some people have found that they were doing for the business and they realized they wanted to add some physical aspect too, so that they could push themselves a little bit more. But really it's to get through, and at the end of a month or 30 days or whatever, be like, yeah, look what every single day I push myself in this way. Right. So that's kind of how it's laid out. It's up to you. This is where peer pressure we just put on you. And, are you ready to push yourself a little bit more? Are you ready to be better, Darren?
No. Yeah, of course I am. Let's, so what we discussed earlier was about like us being kind of uncomfortable with going like either not Facebook Live, but just doing stories where you actually saying something, face the camera, saying something, even if it's for 15 seconds. We have a lot of knowledge between us. And just that little snippet, whatever we've read or communicated with or whoever we've had in an interview, we could kind of just share that with our own personal profile. So without like sending a pre-recorded message, let's get comfortable with doing that. I was actually going to start joining along with getting jacked up and probably asking Blake for a couple of t-shirts because they won't fit anymore. But
there you go.
I could be the next one after Christmas and New Year, maybe. So
Well, yeah, I'm starting up November, and that's part of it too, is because when we go into the holidays, everybody's like, "Oh, I want to take it easy during the holidays," Oh, well, I've got this and I've got that, and blah 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 blah. So, I mean, it's up to you. Just let me know. I'm gonna just for everybody. I'm gonna hound Darren a little bit in the DMs. We're gonna go back and forth until I get him to accept something.
Okay.
And
bring it on.
We'll push. So, yeah, on that note, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, I love you guys. I appreciate you as always being on. Darren, thank you for showing up, my man. So I'm going to end the call with the recording. Sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet. Just go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you